Leaning Tower of Pisa. Well, actually, that tower has been leaning and strong for a long time. Touch wood. Amazing place in Pisa, in Italy. That's where that picture was actually taken. And I like to remind you that if you feel like that as a human, you need to ensure that you bring yourself upright once more and sit up and stand up straight with your head held high. It is essential, not just important, essential as a human being, because our structure on the inside and outside is just as important. So everyone has a role. Everyone has a role to become the very best they can in that role is essential. Just like organisms in a compost heap. In a compost heap, you have worms, you have bacteria, you have fungi, and you have all the components of the compost heap itself, mainly organic vegetable and fruit material and leaves and things like that, anything from plants. And the bigger organisms like the worms will break down the organic debris into smaller chunks so that the surface area increases and bacteria can work on it, and so on and so on. Now, we are lucky as humans. We have many roles as a collective. One of our roles is to keep and preserve the planet, which many of us are not doing. Even our leadership is not keen on doing that to the extent that we could, actually. In fact, we could have chosen much cleaner fuels, but some people at the top decided that fossil fuel was the way we were going to go. And if you look at the world around you, everything and every being has the ability to play a big part in that recycling role, especially bacteria. Bacteria are beneficial. They don't always cause disease. Bacteria recycle things. Bacteria help to break down food in our gut. Your gut is called your second brain, by the way, because the amount of electromagnetic activity in there is huge. Like this video, subscribe if you've just joined. Welcome to the broadcast. Leave comments. So I want to tell you about a man who had been in battle and had a poison arrow in his arm. We are organisms that decay and rot too if we do not move and we stay still for sufficient amount of time in the wild. Other organisms will either eat us or start breaking us down too. So this man had an arrow in him, and a surgeon looking over him said, "Okay, we're going to operate. I'm going to have to put you under anesthetic." The man said, "Wait, don't do it yet. I want to know what sort of arrow this was, so I know which tribe it came from." The surgeon said, "Well, I can't really tell you that. I mean," he said, "well, what is the texture? Where do the feathers come from? What bird is it from?" The surgeon said, "Well, the feathers are just feathers. Look, we need to operate. We need to take this out." He said, No, I need to know. Take a feather, get it analyzed. And what about the tip? It's gone right the way through. What metal was it made from? Is it even metal? The surgeon said, "Well, I mean, it doesn't look like metal." He said, so it's bone. The surgeon said, I can't tell. He said, well, you're a surgeon. He said, yes, but I'm not an arrow expert. I know how to remove the arrow. I don't know how to. Then the man interrupted him again. He said, well, what about the poison? The surgeon said, well, the longer we speak, the longer the poison is going to surge through your veins, because yes, we've got the antidote. Yes, but I don't know. That was the microbiology and the chemical department. I've got no idea why you need all this information. Can we not just operate and talk about this later? And by that time, the man started to drift in and out of consciousness. And so the surgeon decided, well, I'm just going to have to do this without his consent. But he passed. Now, this is a real story. This is a story that the Buddha told. And he let it sit for a while. So I'm going to let it sit in your mind for a while, and I'm going to look at these questions. So firstly, hi, are you in Asia right now? I'm not in Asia. I've been to parts of Asia and I love Asia. I'm in the United Kingdom, although I love, as you saw from the picture, other parts of the world, including Italy. I was in Italy a while ago and I love Italy. I love Italian culture. I love all culture. But what I like about Italian culture is the vibe. The vibe. It's the same in Italy everywhere. And you know, you know, if you know a little bit of Italian, then you can kind of get around a little bit easier. But even if you don't, they go out of their way to try and kind of guide you. So I love that. You know, it's beautiful. Like the video, hit subscribe if you haven't already. What else have we got in the comments? Hi, I am a booty warrior. Okay, that's an interesting one. I like it. Well, I mean, any warrior is good in life, right? We need to be warriors of life, and that's brilliant. So back to that surgeon. Back to that surgeon who wanted to carry out that operation. Back to the person who died. That arrow, and that person with the arrow in his body is a metaphor for all of us. What poison are we drinking every day, metaphorically? Right? So are we staying in a job where we can remove that from our life and do something that we like, or another job that we like? What about that friendship, that relationship, that interaction, that thing that you keep doing? Maybe it's an addiction that we need to remove. It's a metaphor. It's a powerful metaphor. What about procrastinating, scrolling on your phone, doom scrolling? That's the arrow. A lot of us know the arrow. We don't need to know exactly what it is or where it came from. I don't know who invented the particular app that causes doom scrolling, but I know that it does, and I can cut it out. You can cut it out, but you need to be able to identify your arrow that has lodged itself and rooted itself in you without your permission. Take it out, cut it out. All the most powerful beings in the world, the greats, have always said, cut out the things that are not useful in your life. Christ said it, cut out the things that you find are not useful, right? Every being. Hit like, hit subscribe, and share this video if it's resonating with you, and make sure that you visit my channel for ways in which you can enhance and strengthen your life and become the very best that you can be as a human being. So, my last story was about chocolate and want, and how we want chocolate and toys as kids. And then when we grow older, we want other things like friendships, relationships, houses, cars, uh, to be able to travel, to do other things, to become happy. But the truth is, happiness is something that you create within you. Happiness is one of those energies that you can create on a regular basis, and then you can go out and become more happy, but you always have a certain echelon of joy and happiness with you, right? So looking across, so is that the same person there? Hi, Jack. And then we've got, I am a booty warrior. Cool, cool. Welcome, warriors of all types. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this broadcast. I hope that this day has brought you joy, happiness, fulfillment, strength, and enrichment. You know, the energy of the samurai was very specific. The samurai warriors would always say, do only the things that matter. So now go ahead and do only the things that matter in your life. Live it to the full. And I see you in the next broadcast.